Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back from the depths of me, Zakargo. We're here in the campaign, and really quick, I'm just showing off something. So the game is paused and the shield doesn't look right, but that's not important. What is important is we've edited the laser tank a little bit, and we've given it a name. So in the left side of the laser tank turret, there is the actual turret, and in the right side, there was nothing before. So now, on the right-hand side, we have detections. On top of that, we've also named it the Scorpio Laser Tank. So thanks to everyone who gave name suggestions in the comments. One person suggested naming this after an ancient Roman thing, and while I didn't end up taking that name suggestion, I did start thinking about that, and it reminded me of a piece of artillery called the Scorpio. The Scorpio is basically a fixed crossbow that's not quite as good as a ballista, but the point is it's a highly accurate ranged artillery piece that's kind of purpose built, and it felt appropriate to name this the Scorpio. Now, why am I worrying about the Scorpio? Do I really want to use lasers against the White Flayers with all their smoke and shields? Nope. But over here, the Twin Guard were trying to capture this resource zone after I liberated the Onyx Watch of their existence. So they had this gladiator over here trying to capture this zone, while I was trying to capture this zone, and I was worried that a fight might break out. And over here they had 3 Enigma Swarms. Now they only have 2, but they also have a Halo Swarm. Not to mention they have a fortress right here, as well as this gladiator. And they had something else that was running around, but it's no longer visible. The point is, so I've done this just because I thought a fight might break out over here with the Twin Guard. I'm not entirely sure if you can instigate a fight this way, but anyway, that's the point. We're prepared for it. We've got 6 of these bad boys over here on the border. Now, we got about 28 minutes until the next council meeting, so I'm going to load in the next round of viewercraft, amass my forces, and get ready to launch an invasion against the Lightning Hood and the White Flayers. Alright, so here we are. We are right before the next council meeting. Just to let you know what we've got going on, we have a pair of the Spartans with their Lightning Hoods loadout being supported by the Stormcloud. Stormcloud is a viewer-submitted craft, which will show off the first time we load it into a fight. We've got another pair of Spartans over here, as well as a third pair of Spartans over here, with another Stormcloud giving cover to these two. That's what we've got going on to face off against the Lightning Hoods. Now, the White Flayers over here, we've got a fleet with the Night Witch, as well as the 3 of the VA-1 Spades for viewer-submitted craft against the White Flayers. Pausing it so that we have a little bit more time. And then we have a couple of Phalanxes with a small scout tank that I threw together, as well as a group of the Todd Howards. Now, I feel like since the White Flayers are probably going to want to ram me, that perhaps the most cost-efficient way to fight them is to actually give them something to ram, which is why I have these HMCS Todd Howards loaded in. I'm going to put them out in front, and if the White Flayers really want to crash into me, they can crash into those boys. In addition to that, we have a small fleet down here of 5 trikes. We're going to be splitting this into 2 groups so that this fleet can push forward into this other territory down here. I've got myself covered against the Twin Guard with 6 Scorpio laser tanks. I don't know how well these will do. They are completely untested. However, the Twin Guard have pulled their forces back, so I hope that I won't have to fight them just yet. If I do have to fight them, though, I have these 6 tanks available to do so. And then as far as the Steel Empire, I'm not anticipating a fight here, but I have the materials on hand to produce some stuff at my main base, and I have a rather large force of trikes waiting over here in the west that'll be able to push straight up into here. So if we have to fight these guys, we are able to, but I'm hoping that we won't have to. So thankfully, I guess they can't declare war on me. So yeah, we're gonna get to fight the White Flayers and the Lightning Hoods just how we wanted to. Wonderful. Alright, Editors of Cargo here. So I've probably sped up this whole map interaction, but I've left it in so that you can actually see what it is I'm doing here. Basically, I planned out, I took a look at all the squares that I was going to need to capture, and I split my forces into different groups accordingly. So I'm going to send, I have 4 groups of Todd Howards in sort of the middle of the White Flayers territory. I'm going to split them out to capture all 4 of the zones, and then I'm going to position 2 groups of tanks out in front with viewer-submitted aircraft group directly in between the two. On the southern flank, I'm going to split those trikes into a group of 2 and 3 and move them forward to capture all the tiles down there. And against the lightning hoods, I'm going to hold my position for the time being. Since I don't have to fight the Twin Guard, I'll end up pulling those 6 Scorpio that I have to reinforce my main, and then I'll move that in a coordinated attack against both of the Lightning Hood's bases, one right after the other. Of course, it's going to take time for those forces to move across the map, so we'll get into that later. For now, we start our offensive by angering the White Flayers. So we'll go ahead and fight this. Now, given that it is a flyer, I'm not actually going to bring the bomber in, so we won't see the viewer craft just yet. I know that they have tanks, so we're going to wait until we're going up against the ground vehicles to bring in that bomber. So let's go ahead and... Oh no. Well, I was going to show off that vehicle, but I don't really like... It's been a while since I saved, which is a little unfortunate. This is the Tempest. Okay, so it turns out the Spartans are pretty good against the first vehicles that it sent at me. So that's... I guess that's reassuring. What do we have here? We have some large thing that's called a tectonic, and it's 160,000. We got over here. We got 2 tectonics and a matrix, whatever that is. Okay, so this is twice as heavily defended, and I still don't have as many resources there. Whoa! Okay, well they have no shortage of units. How about you guys? Reaver, Chaos, Reaver. What's a Reaver? How much is it? Looks like it's a tank. It's 90,000. Let's go ahead and pick a fight here. Now I'm gonna bring in the Todd Howards. Yes. Definitely the Phalanxes and definitely those guys. Okay, so Editors of Cargo here, just giving you the rundown. I'm going to send all my Todd Howards at the Reaver out front. I'm going to leave a group of Phalanxes to keep the other tank busy, and I'm spawning in the aircraft kind of pointed at both. If they have target prioritization, then they'll pick whichever one they want to go for. Now let's take a look at our opponent. So up first, we have Chaos. Now this has... Okay, this is using a whole bunch of mimicked Steam stuff. Maybe not entirely mimicked Steam stuff to look really cool. But other than that, it seems like it's a spin block with a ram on it. And then out front, what do we got here? Heavy armor ram. We got a couple particle cannons. Some more rams. And you know what? Is this whole thing on a spin block? It just might be. Just might be. We've got more spin blocks here, although I'm not really sure. Oh, you know what? I bet this whole middle length spins. We'll see that in a second when we unpause, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. And then do we have any missiles, any other weapon systems? We do. We have a swarm of small missiles. These wheels. Okay, so that's the Chaos. And then over here... Man, these designs look really cool. We have the Reaver over here. Now this has a couple of simple weapons as well as APS. That's definitely on a spin block. These are also definitely on a spin block. Some turning wheels, some tank treads. Alright. All things considered, nothing too fancy. Since this is the first fight where we'll be seeing these flyers, I'll go ahead and show them off. So this is the VA-1 Spade from Ironweb. He's vetted this as a laser-designated aerial bomber. It's got all its detections on a turret that's beneath it, and this actually uses a really cool spin block trick on both of its thrusters to control its pitch and its yaw. Other than that, it's a pretty standard-looking jet. It's way prettier than anything I can build, as far as planes go. I'm not very good at building planes, it's gotta be said. I'm okay at building decent-looking hover tanks, depending on who you ask, of course. And I can't really build good-looking boats, and I can't build good-looking planes. But this is a pretty good-looking plane. And that's the VA-1 Spade. We have 3 of those. And then over here, we have the Night Witch Mark II by Demodoc. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with who Demodoc is. He's another From the Depths YouTuber. And this one is... And this craft is an attack plane style sort of thing, sort of like the A-10 Thunderbolt. It strafes things with really rapid fire. explosive cannons coming in at 60,000. We've only got one of them. Now this thing is pretty special because it operates normally at 40% thrust, and when it needs to, it can go all the way up to 400 is what the ACB is set to, but custom jets only go between 0 and 1. So it can more than double its thrust whenever it gets in danger, so if it detects missiles, it will go substantially faster. This thing reminds me a lot of the Supreme Commander 2 White Flayers. It's got a very similar color scheme, this blue and yellow as well. It's got a very sleek design, of course, set up so that it can go as fast as possible. Another very nice craft, so thanks for this mission. Oh, a partial strafe by the Night Witch. Looks like the Todd Howards are definitely going to get in range of this guy. I'm going to slow this down because I love watching the Todd Howards demolish stuff. Oh! Some good hits there, but it's this one that's really going to shine. Oh, yes! Oh, Todd! It just works, ladies and gentlemen. It just works. Really quickly, that was the Reaver down. So let's go ahead and check out how the Chaos is doing. Now this thing is sitting at 98% HP still. Go ahead and unpause it. Turn time back up. This one is facing off against the Phalanxes primarily, but it looks like the Night Witch is going in for a bit of a strafe run. Night Witch is getting pretty low there. The Night Witch has managed to land. It has full materials, so somehow it got damaged and ended up landing. Not entirely sure what happened there. But thankfully, the attention of the Chaos is pretty split amongst the forces, so it should be okay to chill there for a while. Todd Howard's getting in close. This one was not fully reloaded, so he only fired a couple of times. Although it looks like the particle cannon is firing who knows what. Oh no! Oh, Todd! Todd, take it easy, Todd. Okay, we now have 2 Todd Howards. Nope, all 3. The little guy managed to make it. It's pretty injured, it's gotta be said. But thankfully, they are keeping this thing controlled. They're not letting it ram anything else. This might look like I'm damaging myself. And to be perfectly accurate, I am. You're not supposed to ram. Oh, why are you crashing? What? This is not how it's supposed to be going. Technically speaking, we're victorious. It was a little sloppy. It's gotta be said. We took some damage. I'm not sure why the Night Witch here ended up landing. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed that it managed to land without blowing itself to pieces. Because normally the thing flies at 200 meters a second, and an unintentional landing at 200 meters a second is not generally a very good thing. Hopefully, this time around, we should be able to get a pretty good look at the opponent. Wait. Yeah, so last fight, I got almost immediately killed by a laser, because there's not actually a command cockpit inside the Spartan. So, what we're going to do this time is get out, that way a laser does not immediately blast me to pieces, and then we're going to pause the game. Hello, Spartans. You and your glorious shields. And we're going to take a look over at the Zeus. Now, the first thing I'm noticing is that it has a particle cannon, because of course it has a particle cannon. I prepared for lasers, so why would it not just use lasers? But anyway, 65,000. Where's the particle cannon? The particle cannon's on a turret underneath it. Now, over here we have a Tempest coming in at 50,000 materials. Don't mind the floor. It hasn't figured out what it's doing yet. But this thing has EMP missiles. Well, how about that? Looks like a laser to me. Yeah, it's a laser. Okay, so this has a laser and it has some missiles. First volley of cannons from the Spartan is a miss. Second volley, not so much. Now, the cannons are not their primary weapon. It's this missile volley. Their primary weapon. This thing is still fighting. Now they also deploy smoke whenever lasers hit them. Oh no. Oh, we did land some good hits. Looks like we damaged its ability to control itself, so if we're lucky, it'll crash. Of course, maybe we're not that lucky. Another hit. Didn't damage too much. Oh, there we go. Blasting it apart, and it looks like the Zeus crashed. And the shells, we're firing black shells with the tracer round. And the reason is they have good explosion wrapping, and I think they look cool. To be entirely frank, with a shell that small, we don't have too many options. We can fire like disruptor EMP shells to weaken shields, but the Spartan fires missiles. So I just went with black for the extra explosion wrapping. Well done, Mr. Spartans. Alright, what else do we got? We have a Lux Eterna. Pretty sure that's Latin for Light Eternal, which is an epic name. It's also absolutely massive. It's using the, So if you... I guess, what am I trying to say? If I look over here, let's look at this helicopter.
Listening.
The silhouette here is of a plane. And then if I go and look at the Spartan, the silhouette here is of a... looks like a tank. Remind me to zoom in and post. That way you can see it better. So when I zoom in on this, it's using the silhouette of a tank. Or perhaps maybe an amphibious? Yeah, that's amphibious. That's the amphibious one. So that is a ground vehicle that we're definitely going to want the bombers for. And same thing with this Matrix over here. That one's also marked as an amphibious ground vehicle. What do we have going on down here? We have a Wrecker moving out on its own. And the Wrecker is pretty cheap, actually. So we'll engage that with the Trikes. We have another Reaver inbound, and a Forsaken, and a Rapture. Okay. Alright, so that's all I got for you guys today. If you like From the Depths and you want to see more of it, make sure you like, comment, share, so on and so forth. The more positive interactions this gets, the better the video does. And ultimately, I want to make content that people watch. So if the From the Depths videos do well, then I'll make more of those. So far, the campaign has been doing pretty good, but oftentimes the build videos do a lot better than the campaign episodes. So if you're actually interested in seeing more of the campaign, make sure to leave a like and comment on the video. And with that said, I've been Zacargo, and this has been fun. I'll see you soon with the next episode of From the Depths. Bye!